Too many cameras in my face.
That was the one.
Hello there.
Hey mate.
Why is Velcro not used as much as it was when we were kids? I was thinking about this I was watching the Giro d'Italia. I was thinking about this in the Giro d'Italia. Why, the weather's been really shit in the Giro. Why, you see all these riders struggling to do up their zips and stuff. Velcro.
It's not trendy anymore.
Velcro zips.
A Velcro jacket. It'd be so much easier, and then take it off.
Come along behind you and just go.
Yeah.
Well, basically, I've come to drop bikes off to you.
Hello.
Again.
Yeah.
And I have basically bought a load of, literally a ton of wheels down. They're over there somewhere. So one of the things that we've been sort of trying to do with Cycle Exchange is I want to show kind of how easy it is to bring something in, sell it. And it's basically
Part exchange.
bring, sell, take. Done.
With payment, of course.
With payment, of course, or part exchange.
Or part exchange.
So one of the things we're doing is we are going to part exchange a set of wheels that are currently on my S5 to some reserve wheels, which actually were the reserve wheels designed for that generation S5, and swapping out the wheels that are currently on it to the reserve ones, which they're all going to do while I'm away. And Brandon, at the same time, is going to then measure up that bike to wrap it.
Exactly. So we don't have the kit available for this one currently. So what we need to do is take the measurements, and then I send those measurements over to my designers. They put a kit together, all the pieces, build the jigsaw, and then they send it back to me to put the jigsaw together. That's it.
It's basically measure,
Design,
fit, print,
yeah.
fit.
Is this another one of your bikes that isn't clean?
This hasn't been ridden.
But it's got sealant everywhere.
Loads of people keep asking on the R5CX, cyclocross bike, aggressive, completely get that, but what are the tyre clearances on it? So I spent a day, literally, I took the first tyres that were on it, which were 32 cyclocross tyres on it, and basically went down the route of going 32, 40, 45, 50 tyres. But because the original tyres had sealant in them, the rest of them I was just basically slapping the tyre on and then causing havoc, waiting for the and then not putting any sealant in. Basically, I figured out that you could fit 50 mils on there, fine on the front, probably too tight on the rear. So I've settled with 45s, G1Rs, which is quite a wide tyre anyway on the reserve rim, and there's tons and tons and tons of room. I mean, look at this. Still, the place where it's tight is there. Understandably so. Understandably it's really tight there. Now we definitely couldn't fit that kind of tyre on that. If you look back some videos, you'll see a video of a Sunweb S5. This used to be that Sunweb S5. I got it repainted at Gun Control, and we filmed the build of it here. I filmed the build of it here. There. I got that through basically doing a part exchange on a Cervélo C3 which I had, and swapped it, and we swapped all the components over from the C3 to this. Worked really well. Easy. Bang.
Cycle Exchange Kingston. I'll see you next time.
Cool. Oh no.
Welcome to a video of me riding outside. Now, that has not happened for a while. If you don't know why, check out the Grand Guanche video and I'll explain it a bit more. But long and short, I crashed and I broke both my wrists. It's now late May. This is the first outdoor ride proper since early March. So yeah, first ride outside in, I don't know, 8-12 weeks, something like that. Been lucky that I've been able to do some turbo stuff, but I'm basically just riding to get a feel of what the Cervelo Soloist is like to ride, as I'm riding it to Paris on Friday. So I just did this like pretty nuts, really long descent, 70 something kph going down. It's quite good for the head, good for the heart, good for the lungs, good for the legs. Anyway, so there's a couple of things I want to talk about in this video. First of all, why are you riding to Paris? So in 2016 we had a group of about 50 of us ride to Paris to raise funds for the PACE Centre. PACE is a children's school for kids with motor-based disorders such as cerebral palsy, and they look after 107 kids. Now that's the reason why I have 107 tattooed on me. It's also why Francis has one, and why a lot of the challenges I've done in the past orientate around the number 107. Now a lot of that riding was done with a club called Ripcore, who are based out in Ascot and was set up by two guys, Treve and Sean. Now last year, at the end of the year, we got some really shit news. One of our friends in the club, Rob Paulding, one of our friends in the club, Rob, he sadly passed away in a motorcycle accident, and it really shook everyone. Now, although I don't ride that much of Ripcore, I still really do feel like it's part of the reason why I got into cycling and has really shaped me as a person. And Rob was one of the people that always kept in touch, just by WhatsApp or phone call or something, just checking in to see how I was. Basically, he is like one of the best humans, to be honest, you'd ever meet. So with that in mind, one of the other guys, Pete, sent me a message basically saying we're going to do the Paris ride again in Rob's memory and fundraise for PACE. And I knew when I broke my wrists, I really knew there was a chance that I wouldn't be able to do it. But I think out of my own stubbornness, I wanted to make sure I could be there and just try and ride it. And if I can do it all, amazing. If I can't have to go in the sport car, at least I know I'm going to be there with some people who are doing something in memory for Rob. So there's going to be about 50 of us doing it again in Rob's memory to raise money for PACE. Rob's friends, Rob's family, lots of people close to him. It's going to be quite a hard trip, but I'm going to try and document it the best I can. London Paris might not sound a big challenge in comparison to some of the other stuff I've done, and I appreciate that, but I'm going to be doing this with 50 people, some of them who are very new cyclists, some of them who've never even ridden 100k, and we're all going to be riding to Paris. So please, if you can, please drop a donation to PACE. I'll put a link in the description. I'd hugely appreciate it. Trying to think about ways to try and get some funds to PACE, and I asked Sungod if they could help out. And so what we're going to do, for every comment in this video and every donation on the page, we'll give you an opportunity to win yourself a set of custom Sungod sunglasses like these. These ones are actually the Attacus Vulcans, but I customized them to make them full frame as opposed to half frame. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, and whack a donation on the PACE page, and I'll draw the winner at some point in the future. Please get involved. I'd massively appreciate it. Okay, I've thought it through a bit more because I don't know if that made any sense. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and drop a comment on it, and then make a donation to PACE on the charity page. You could be in for a chance to win yourself a set of custom Sungod sunglasses. I'll announce the winner in like a week's time in a video on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed so you know when that video is going to drop. Right, the last thing we're going to talk about in this video is this bike. So you've seen it appear in a few videos, and the build video is dropping soon. Jack's just working on the edit at the moment, but I am riding it around and using it, so I thought I might as well talk about it because a few people have asked about the spec a bit and how I've got it set up at the moment, basically. So this is a Cervelo Soloist. The new Soloist, as you see here, I love this little detail. This was originally the first like bike Cervélo did, was an aluminium Soloist in '95. There's various different versions of it. You'd have seen my rim brake red one as well, which is like a 90 or early 2000s model. This is the new disc brake Soloist that is now available to buy. So I have got this, which is the gold one in a size 54, and as you can see, the paint scheme has all been wrapped by Ride Wrap. We built this up at service course. Spec that I built up with is Ultegra Di2. I've been really impressed with the 12-speed group set so far. It shifts fantastic, it feels quick and quite snappy. Hood's a bit more ergonomic in my opinion to the previous generation. They slightly curve inwards and feel really nice to ride. Stem, Cervelo's own carbon 130 stem. This mount though is from a company called Close the Gap. Includes a bell, really neat and tidy. Garmin 1040 on the front. Also to mention, little sprint shifters, nice little detail. This bar tape I genuinely think is the best bar tape you can buy, and it's by BBB. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just really nice. So saddle, I've started using a Gebiomai saddle. We did some pressure mapping and this seems to work really well for me. And actually having now ridden out on it, I can confirm it seems to feel great for me. I'm really impressed and surprised. I've been on the same saddle for so long and I thought it was pretty good, to be fair. And I do still think the Pro Stealth, which I previously used and have still got on many of my bikes, is a fantastic saddle. But this Gebiomai's one seems to fit a little bit better to me, especially for longer rides. So I'm super impressed with it actually. Yeah, size 54 frame. I'm using Cervelo's inline seat post they make specifically for it. We did a fit and you'd have seen that we needed to change the seat post, and this is the inline one as opposed to a 15mm setback. I think pretty much every single bike I have is 130 stem and an inline seat post. It just works for me really well. Wheels are Reserve 40/44s. It's a nice depth, sounds fantastic in the wind as well. And I'm running a 32mm Schwalbe 1 tyre, which is a really big tyre. This bike actually has clearance for probably about a 34. Tons of room there, you can see. But I'm running these more than anything as a bit of extra comfort to me, having a wider size, and I thought I'd put the ones on because I had them at home. There is the Pro one, which is a faster tyre, not quite as much puncture resistance, but also a fantastic tyre. I really like the Pro one personally, but I had the 32 ones at home, so I went with those. Cassette on this is 1134, so big cassette. Ultegra rear mech and Ultegra power meter on the front with 50/34 chain rings. Big bottles from Styrkr. So the hubs are DT Swiss, so the 350 hub. Sound great, not too loud, seem to roll fantastically well, really impressed with them. Yeah, that's kind of the bike. It's in this gold. Gold is cool, never had a gold bike before. How have I integrated all the cables on this? So the Soloist does not come with an integrated stem or handlebar. This is actually the stem and handlebar which you'd use for the R5, the Aspero 5, Caledonia 5, and the headset spacer as well. Basically allows you to integrate everything. The steerer is a D-shaped steerer, so it's the same steerer that you have on the other bikes. So you can actually use the R5, Caledonia 5, Aspero 5 stem and handlebars into it to fully integrate it. And now I just think that looks so much neater. The advantage of the other system is you can use any kind of handle. My workout is ending. So the advantage of the other system is you could use any stem and handlebar combination, and basically the cables will run into the front here and then down into the frame, or just, you know, it sits underneath effectively. But yeah, I really like that setup. I really love the Cervélo handlebars, so it was kind of something I wanted to do, is to make sure I had them on it. Yeah, that's about it really. I'm going to finish my ride now. hope it was a nice insight into what's next. Talk to you soon.